There hasn't been much time for Max Verstappen to celebrate his 50th Grand Prix win, or Lewis Hamilton or Charles Leclerc to bemoan their US Grand Prix disqualifications. The Mexico Grand Prix is this weekend. A grueling trip ahead of the flyaway races continues, with the second stage around the 4.304km Autodromo Hermanos Rodriguez, a high altitude test for teams and drivers before they set off to Sao Paulo next week. Fortunately, the world's most expensive travelling circus. There's only one race this weekend after last Saturday sprint. The standard F1 format means we only get FP2 and FP3 in a full race run that features 3 sprint events, so the team will have much longer to prepare for the race. We'll have to see what it means for McLaren and Mercedes. They can close the gap to Verstappen, but Mercedes undeniably took an encouraging leap forward with their car in COTA, albeit with a questionable strategy that allowed Verstappen to leapfrog Hamilton. If they can maintain their development for advance for Mexico, they could have 2 cars challenging for the podium and possibly the win. With Russell getting over his bogey track Texas struggles. Equally, McLaren had one car fighting at the front after Oscar Piastri's early race damage saw the Aussie retire with cornering issues. He and teammate Lando Norris have helped the Woking team repeatedly take more trophies in recent races. Together with Mercedes, Verstappen must be looking over his shoulder the progress of new competitors. With FP2 and FP3 back on the race after it took a couple of races off, we'll also see rookie drivers coming in with regulations saying each team must give a newcomer some track time during the season. Mercedes, Haas, AlphaTauri and Alfa Romeo will let F2 stars Vesti, Behrman, Hajar and Podchair respectively enjoy the cockpit. And yes, since returning to F1 calendar in 2015, the Mexican Grand Prix has now been called the Mexican City Grand Prix. Hasn't had too much degradation from ready to run about. Verstappen completed 45 laps on medium rubber in 2022, much to Mercedes' frustration, but that may not be possible with softer tyres being brought. The C3, C4, C5 softers available. Whether that means we'll get 2 slots or the usual 1 stop remains to be seen. Regardless, it'll be interesting to see how tactical the race is on Sunday, but Verstappen is the name most likely to claim victory. But there are some indications of it being less than certainty. His mistaken US Grand Prix qualifying session had him fighting back from P6, and the Dutchman didn't close too quickly like we have seen in early races. Hamilton, Norris, Russell, Piastri will be hoping to be up there, as will Charles Leclerc and Carlos Sainz. It's anyone guess they can match Verstappen, but one driver who could absolutely match it is the home hero Sergio Perez. The Mexican is suffering a chasing siege and far off the pace of Verstappen. And we'll seek to give the home crowd something to cheer about, reaching the Stadium for the first time in 5 races. So yeah, it'd be interesting to see him do it. But yeah, for the UK Grand Prix, starts at 8 and qualifying 10 p.m. So yeah, another late one, obviously on Sky Sports. And yeah, the weather forecast set for clear sunny temperatures in the mid-20s, low chance of rain. So yeah, fairly bog standard weekend in terms of temperatures and rain, etc. On Thursday in the US Grand Prix, obviously the main talking points really were the fallout from the US Grand Prix. And yeah, lots of talk about the disqualifications. Hamilton saying multiple cars would have been disqualified if they were tested. Who knows? But yeah, the drama will roll on. And yeah, you kind of want to see a resolution where all cars get tested, because that does seem the fairest solution. But yeah, except for that, obviously after booing on the podium, Max Verstappen unfortunately will have to have bodyguards in this weekend, as will Helmut Marko, unsurprisingly. But yeah, it's a shame to see things like that. And yeah, just hopefully it's a safe weekend for everybody. On to the practice sessions on Friday then, and in practice one it was unsurprisingly Max Verstappen topping the timesheets, but in second place, bit of surprise, Alex Albon there. Yeah, just less than a tenth behind him. Sergio Perez was a few tenths further back. Then you had Norris, Leclerc, and yeah, a bit of an interesting session. The Mercedes was down there, Lewis Hamilton 11th. I think Toto said he would have been second or third, but made a mistake in his lap time, so that makes sense. But then yeah, obviously there's lots of rookies running here, likes of Vesti, Porchero, Gasly didn't get a run out. Ollie Beerman seemed to impress in the Haas. So yeah, interesting signs there. Isaac Hadjar as well. So yeah, bit of a test session there. But moving on into practice 2, and it was Max Verstappen's fastest again. This time a 10th clear of Lando Norris, Charles Leclerc back there. You also had some high runners out there as well, including Bottas 4th, Ricciardo 6th. That's interesting. Hamilton 7th further back. Looked like Mercedes really didn't have the best day, but yeah, even he was only 3/10 behind Max Verstappen. So yeah, it's an interesting day, close margins between the field, and still feels like there's a lot to be gained and learned throughout the day. So yeah, an interesting session, few technical issues for the likes of Aston Martin, but yeah, still looking like we're in for an interesting weekend. And before I go, my predictions for this weekend, and back to normal weekend this weekend. And yeah, on pole I'm going to say it'll be Max Verstappen. Winning, I'm going to say Max Verstappen. Yeah, I still think there will be teams closer, but I think high altitude circuit, Red Bull have always been strong here, even when Mercedes was dominating. I think they'll definitely be the favourites. I'm going to say Hamilton second. I think Mercedes will continue their strong form, hopefully have a legal car this time out, and Hamilton has had a couple of good races together, could push Verstappen hard, who knows, but I can think Perez will also return to podium, kind of needs to his home race, and yeah, I think we'll have just enough to do it. I'm going to say it'll be Checo in third. But anyway guys, that's it. Thanks so much for watching. Like, subscribe, and subscribe for daily F1 news, and subscribe to the channel is going to be greatly appreciated. Thanks so much for watching. Peace out.